8 of the most mysterious and bizarre recent archaeological discoveries that have left scientists astonished. Welcome to the mysterious universe. Dear friend, modern science has made remarkable advances, yet many mysteries remain beyond human understanding. Even when they use the most advanced technologies. Indeed, we could spend an entire lifetime exploring the field of historical science. But there will always be things you can never fully understand. These are not just novel discoveries, but also relics and artifacts left behind by our ancestors from ancient times. Join Mysterious Universe in exploring the latest bizarre and enigmatic archaeological discoveries. Video, two male-female couples lay embracing each other in a 5,000-year-old ancient tomb. The mysterious ancient tomb recently excavated in western Siberia has continued to yield astonishing discoveries for archaeologists. The 5,000-year-old ancient tomb is located in a Bronze Age burial ground in the area known as Novosibirsk in western Siberia. The person buried in this tomb was a member of the Oginab culture. They chose the Isim River Valley as their settlement, where they cultivated barley, hunted, fished, and raised sheep, horses, and other livestock, forming an isolated community. When they removed the final layer of the tomb's covering, they were astonished to find the remains of a man and a woman, with the man lying on his back beneath her. The woman lay prone, her face pressed against the man. On her back, a small masked figure lay in the same position. The couple was wrapped in birch bark, then preliminarily cremated before burial. When they removed the first couple from the tomb, archaeologists were surprised to discover another pair lying beneath them in an identical position. 2 other tombs were also excavated, revealing that the construction of multi-level underground tombs appears to be a distinctive feature of Udinopal burial rites. But the 2 couples lay face to face, while the other effigy remained a mystery. Additionally, archaeologists discovered a mysterious statue inside the tomb. As soon as the mask was removed, everyone saw a face with distinctly European features, fair skin and a captivating aura. Unlike the residents of Udinopal, the statue was hollowed out and contained organic material, though its exact composition remains undetermined. This upside-down placement suggests that the image symbolizes a woman. But the final mystical ritual caused the statue to bow its head, leaving only the face lifted toward the sky. Professor Vichirath Madran from the Novosibirsk Institute of Archaeology and Ethnology stated, "We've never experienced anything like this before. Although we have extensive knowledge of the burial rituals in Udinopal culture. That woman must have been extraordinary, to have such a mysterious little statue accompany her to the afterlife." However, all of this remains just a hypothesis. Accordingly, they need to conduct more thorough research to provide the most accurate answer. A 2,000-year-old incense burner discovered in an ancient tomb amid a field. Beneath the fields of southern Poland cultivated for thousands of years, archaeologists have discovered numerous ancient tombs belonging to warriors, still containing weapons and valuable artifacts inside. The skeletal remains in the ancient tomb were severely damaged, making it nearly impossible to collect them intact after thousands of years of farming on the field. However, archaeologists have discovered many artifacts buried with the dead. Worthy of being called a treasure, this collection includes 4 swords, a combat spear, a reed, and an orange star. The weapons of ancient warriors were all crafted with exquisite precision. According to the research team from the Institute of Archaeology at Archaeological University. With an age of approximately 2,000 years, these are truly precious artifacts. The most precious is a mysterious sword that remains intact despite being buried for 2,000 years. Normally, this type of soil cannot preserve bare buried iron objects, as they will rust and only fragments or distorted shapes remain. Accordingly, the mysterious ancient sword has been taken by scientists for research. What a surprise, that pet was cremated along with its owner. The entire special forging process made the sword exceptionally durable and razor sharp, unaffected by time or corrosive substances underground. According to archaeologists, this mysterious group of warriors may have had close ties to the Khoikhoi culture. This is a vast archaeological complex in the area, dating from the 3rd century BCE to the 5th century CE. People of the Iron Age had advanced farming techniques and knew how to dig deep wells to access water. However, they were not skilled warriors, and that civilization collapsed after the Han invasion. Dr. Gren Goudenhoe, an Egyptologist from the University of Liverpool, UK, representing the research team, shared. They accidentally discovered this strange ancient tomb. During the excavation of the area surrounding the distinctive lighthouse of the ancient city devastated by an earthquake and tsunami, Tap Osiris Magna was discovered. The lighthouse stands like a sacred monument, guarded by countless mummies buried with their feet in the starflower-scattered graves surrounding the area. All of them were wealthy nobles, carefully buried with precious grave goods in terracotta tombs. But while surveying a limestone path leading up to the lighthouse, archaeologists unexpectedly discovered the strange tomb mentioned earlier. The gravediggers dug an underground tunnel, forming a secret coffin. They placed the body inside and covered it with soil, striving to restore the road surface to its original state to leave no trace behind. It's strange, inside the ancient tomb, there was no mummy, only a set of skeletal remains, proving that the deceased was never mummified. Moreover, the burial artifacts were quite simple and rudimentary. Based on the location of the ancient tomb, this could be one of the bodies tasked with guarding the sacred temple. Yet, for some unknown reason, that person, whether it was a man or a woman, was buried in such a bizarre condition. The strangest ancient tomb in this city, much like the ancient tombs containing mummies from before, also helps shed more light on the evidence. This lighthouse was originally part of the ruins of an ancient limestone temple. One of the prominent mummies in the region is a highly educated and high-ranking woman. The oldest tomb, or more recently, the mummy of a man and woman, believed to be two high-ranking priests in the Egyptian court. More importantly, archaeologists believe that Tapo Seret Magner not only holds secrets but may also lead the way to the legendary queen's tomb. Cleopatra and her lover Mark Antony. Tapo Seret Magner. After gathering every piece of his body that had been torn apart and scattered across the land of Egypt by the enemy, an Institute of Cultural and Archaeological Research has discovered 27 mysterious ancient tombs in Shaanxi Province, China, is regarded as the starting point of the renowned Silk Road. These 27 tombs are the true treasures, containing countless valuable burial artifacts. Out of the 27 tombs, 4 were built on an exceptionally large scale. Moreover, they were buried in an ethereal blue outfit, meticulously assembled from 2,200 pieces of jade. Archaeologists believe this was a place for living and resting for high-status individuals in society at that time. Among the burial artifacts, the most prominent are the small statues, which scientists hope will shed more light on the owners of these tombs. These ancient tombs are estimated to date back around 2,000 years, corresponding to the Han Dynasty period. The Silk Road originated in China, stretching 6,400 kilometers at that time and passing through many prosperous regions. Like the Taklamakan Desert, crossing the Pamir Mountains, through Afghanistan and Lebanon, then across the Mediterranean Sea. This is the route used to transport silk from the east to the west, while also serving as the path that brought emeralds, gold, and silver from the west to the east. Xi'an is one of the 4 greatest ancient capitals of China. Here, the renowned Seven Directions region was once a bustling urban center, now facilitating the recent excavation of 27 ancient tombs. Archaeologists hope that excavating the entire burial site will expand their understanding of the complex funerary practices of this period. Notably, archaeologists emphasize that this is not the first time attire made from jade sawa has been discovered in ancient tombs in China. Previously, a similarly exquisite artifact was also unearthed at the Western Mausoleum in Yangcheng City, Henan Province, China. This further proves that this place still holds countless ancient mysteries, waiting to be uncovered by humanity. After 10,000 years of slumber, the glacier beast suddenly emerged from the lake, just as the man was leading his reindeer herd past. Despite being stalked by an obsessed fan, the man in Siberia made a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. The excavated skull was nearly intact, even preserving the soft tissue, internal organs, and feces of a woolly mammoth that had been naturally frozen and preserved. Scientist Pavel Koshenchets from the Institute of Ecology of Flora and Fauna, Euro Branch, Russian Federation. A paleontologist present at the scene mentioned that this accidental discovery was partly due to the low water levels of Lake Peshnovolachuk. According to reports, shortly afterward, the team of scientists erected an ancient fortress in the area where the 2 animal skeletons were identified. Then, they used a pump to drain the water from inside the fortress and recovered a skeleton that was up to 90% intact. Even 2 large pieces of hide, a charm made from thick wool like fur, and even a small lump of dung. A part of the animal's life still retains the thread of moonlight. According to researchers' analysis, this strange creature was a male individual approximately 15 years old, estimated to have stood 2 to 2.5 meters tall at the time of death. The fossil is estimated to be up to 10,000 years old. The woolly mammoth, also known as the tundra mammoth or the woolly mammoth, is a large species of mammoth with an impressive thick coat. That is an extinct creature from the elephant family. The closest living relative of this mammoth is the Asian elephant. The discovery of this creature's tissues, bones, and feces holds particularly significant importance for the field of paleontological research, because it can help uncover information that the skeleton itself cannot reveal. Moreover, these parts could provide DNA of sufficient quality to realize humanity's ambition of resurrecting the woolly mammoth. In December 2006, the town of Tuikao in Tinan District, Gizan City, Shaanxi Province, China. The villagers were using explosives to blast rocks for highway construction when they suddenly discovered something strange. When the explosions rang out, they noticed the sounds were uneven and thought to themselves, beneath the ground lie unusual hollow spaces. When digging into the recently exploded ground, the locals discovered a hole about 12 meters deep. Inside is an ancient tomb spanning over 160 square meters, containing nearly 47 coffins along with many other precious artifacts. Immediately, the residents reported the incident to the local authorities and the relevant agencies. Sent archaeologists to survey and study. Archaeologists have identified this as an ancient tomb dating back to the Eastern Zhou period, specifically the middle to late spring and autumn period of China. The tomb, dating back over 2,500 years, was constructed in a rectangular shape, featuring a gradual incline rising toward the east and descending toward the west. Experts believe that a tomb of such grand scale must have belonged to the nobility of ancient times. The tomb contains a total of 47 coffins, the largest of which measures up to 3.16 meters in length. This is believed to be the resting place of the tomb's owner. However, due to the passage of too much time, the remains in this coffin have decayed to the point where almost nothing is left. Inside the coffin, many precious artifacts were preserved, including gold, silver, jewels, and various expensive pieces of jewelry. A 66 centimeters long sword, along with its hilt and scabbard, remains intact despite being 2,500 years old and is now recognized as a national treasure. In this ancient tomb, many valuable artifacts were also discovered, including bronze items, jade, and lacquerware, bamboo and wooden furniture along with over 300 pieces of ancient woven fabric. However, what astonished archaeologists the most was that the remaining 46 coffins were all identical. These range from 2.4 to 2.8 meters in length, placed side by side and spaced not far from the main coffin. The experts decided to open each coffin one by one to conduct a deeper study of the tomb. The scene that followed left them utterly stunned. Inside those 46 coffins were the bodies of girls still very young, their ages ranging only from 15 to 20. The strange thing is that all 46 bodies were naked, only wrapped in bamboo mats. Besides, there were many objects made of coarse fabric, their faces appearing utterly terrifying. It seemed to have endured unbearable agony until its final breath. At night, these corpses even glow. The sight left scientists and archaeologists utterly astonished, to the point of being beyond explanation. Through their research, archaeologists have concluded that this ancient tomb is most likely the resting place of King Trongvu of the state of Tu, a small vassal state that existed from the Xia dynasty to the Western Zhou period. 46 girls buried with this king were believed to be the weavers of that era, based on the number of bodies, the burial method, and the age of the female victims. It can be inferred that they died due to the practice of burial sacrifice. Long ago, when a master died, their slaves were also buried alive with them, with the wish to still have servants in the afterlife. These slaves were treated as playthings by the nobility. Their lives are in the hands of the Lord, beyond all resistance. According to the hypothesis, these 46 young women were forced to be buried alive as sacrificial offerings. They were forced to eat poisoned watermelon seeds, then succumbed to the toxin and died in agonizing convulsions. In the end, the puppet and I share the same grave. The high concentration of toxins accumulated in these women's bodies is precisely what caused their remains to be preserved longer than usual. The remains of these girls lie cold and forgotten in the darkness. The families stated that the cause stemmed from phosphate crystals found in their loved ones' remains. Normally, these crystals take several years to form in nature. However, after more than 2,500 years lying in this ancient tomb, it was formed from the combination of toxins present in the girls' remains and the underground water. These crystals are as transparent as glass, resembling emeralds that can emit a shimmering glow when placed in the dark. This discovery left experts and archaeologists utterly astonished, as they had never witnessed such a bizarre phenomenon before. The excavation of this ancient tomb also helped them gain deeper insight into burial customs of the past. The mysterious hand in the 3,000-year-old ancient tomb. In December 2000, archaeologists discovered an ancient tomb dating back over 3,000 years to the Shang dynasty in China. Here are two natural English translations of the given Vietnamese text. Inside the tomb, archaeologists discovered over 200 pieces of jade along with countless other precious artifacts. However, there is a bronze artifact with a peculiar shape that has left experts scratching their heads, still unable to determine its true purpose. This bronze object is shaped like a right hand with a hollow forearm, seamlessly connected to a uniquely designed wooden handle that carries a distinctive style. The bronze hand is 13.2 centimeters in length and approximately 6.8 centimeters in width. The surface of the board is carved with an animal face motif featuring prominent eyes, but the five-finger section is left undecorated. This left archaeologists utterly baffled, even though dozens of tombs from the Shang dynasty had already been excavated. However, this bronze object shaped like a hand is completely unprecedented. Thus, the actual function of this bronze artifact became a hotly debated topic among archaeologists at the time. One hypothesis suggested that this hand was merely a decorative object, but this was quickly dismissed. Some experts believe this hand was used to hold food, while others argue it functioned as a scratching stick. Only the size of a child. Some experts argue that this is a weapon for self-defense. However, in terms of shape and design, this bronze hand does not have claws or hidden weapons inside, so it cannot injure enemies. Finally, the experts all agreed that this bronze hand was undoubtedly once used as a sacrificial offering. At the same time, the excavation of the tomb also made significant progress. The archaeological team discovered the remains of the tomb's owner in a relatively intact condition. According to the examination results, the tomb's owner, Duong, passed away at the age of 35, based on the remaining records found in the burial site. Its owner was a military general during the Shang dynasty, serving under King Wu Ding, the 22nd ruler of the dynasty. This general was named A Trong. Based on historical records, experts have uncovered detailed information about the origin of the bronze hand. According to them, this bronze hand was truly a sacrificial artifact. In life, he was a courageous general who achieved many glorious victories for the royal court. In a battle, he lost an arm to a sword strike. Later, when he passed away, to express gratitude and the wish to keep his body intact, Quan Li crafted this bronze hand and placed it in his tomb. The mysterious treasure lies on the bare Stork Hill. About 3 kilometers east of Loc Tuyen city center stands a mountain called Hai Sun. Legend has it that in ancient times, this mountain rose majestically from the sea, hence its name. At the foot of Hai Sun Mountain lies a red earthen mound about 30 meters high, barren and lifeless all year round without a single blade of grass, despite the lush greenery surrounding it. For the past 30 years, a local brick factory has been using soil from this area to produce bricks. On May 29, 1991, a group of workers at a construction site suddenly heard shouts announcing that a treasure had been unearthed. Everyone rushed over to look when they saw the worker holding a black vase that resembled an ancient bronze artifact. The group of workers was convinced that there was an ancient tomb beneath the hill, so they competed to dig it up, even leading to physical fights. Seeing this scene, the residents immediately reported it to the authorities. The police quickly arrived to stabilize the situation. Afterward, the survey team from the Cultural Relics Institute of the former Ha Bac province also arrived at the site to conduct research. The experts couldn't help but feel heartbroken witnessing the severely ravaged tomb complex. The survey team discovered many astonishing findings while exploring the area around the hill. It turns out the reason no grass grows on this hill is because the entire ground is covered with a tightly packed layer of charcoal. Spreading charcoal and compacting the soil is a common method of moisture proofing and erosion prevention used in ancient tombs. This proves that the tomb below is of massive scale, covering an entire hill, and the recently discovered bronze artifacts are just a tiny part of it. Concerns that later excavation activities could be disrupted by locals and grave robbers. The archaeological team immediately reported to the Cultural Heritage Institute, requesting the mobilization of troops to seal off the area in order to protect the enormous treasure discovered in the tomb. Chung. After 3 years of emergency excavation, the archaeological team discovered 7,000 burial artifacts made of gold, silver, bronze, jade, and ceramics, including numerous cultural relics recognized as national treasures. Notably, they also discovered 3 horse-drawn carriages and 14 horse skeletons buried as accompanying offerings. It's not hard to imagine the lavish lifestyle of the tomb. So who is the true master of this massive tomb? That notable figure is none other than Liu Shun, the 14th son of Emperor Jing of Han and the younger full brother of Emperor Wu of Han. Lu Xun was granted the title of Prince of Changshan and ruled over the Shangshan region, corresponding to the area of present-day Xixileng. Historical records note that since both his father and elder brother were emperors, they loved him dearly. Prince of Thuan's son, Lu Thuan, was inherently arrogant and often disregarded the laws of the land. Upon his death, he was buried with many valuable grave goods, befitting his noble status. The tomb of Prince Thuan's son is located in the middle of a densely populated plain, making it an easy target for grave robbers. So what reason led Lu Xun to choose this hill as the site for his tomb? This is closely tied to the ancient concept of feng shui. Bung Thach Exa Trang originally had flat terrain, so they could only choose the small hill nestled between the slopes of Ha Sun Mountain to take cover. Fortunately, after more than 2,000 years of history, the tomb of Lu Thuan remains intact, missing only some pottery and bronze items. The brick kiln workers only sell when a new tomb is discovered. Which discovery impressed you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Goodbye for now, see you again soon.